Just a brief word of encouragement today. I heard a really wonderful illustration of hope just a few days ago from a friend and colleague of mine, Pablo Nunez. He's the minister at Ballina Uniting Church, way up on the north coast of New South Wales. It's a wonderful church, Ballina Uniting Church, a great ministry, and Pablo's an amazing missional leader. But he had this very simple and beautiful illustration of hope in sunflowers, this quiet hope that we get from sunflowers. Maybe you're aware that sunflowers have this amazing ability to turn and face the sun. In the morning, they turn and they face the sun at dawn, and then they just follow it through the sky all day. A whole field of them will do this. They all follow it through the day, and then as it sets in the evening, they're facing west. And then as night falls, they slowly reset to await the sunrise again in the morning. It's just an extraordinary thing that they do. And Pablo was reflecting on this, but he was also reflecting on something else that he'd heard, that on cloudy days, on overcast days, on days when we don't see or feel the sun in the same way as we do on a bright sunny day, that sunflowers do this different thing, that instead of turning and facing the sun, they turn and face each other and offer energy to each other, which is a beautiful image of encouragement and of community and relationship. But as he did his research, because he wanted to use this in a sermon, as he did his research, he realized that it's actually a beautiful fiction. That in fact, sunflowers don't do that on cloudy days. As lovely as the image is, they don't do that on cloudy days. What they do on cloudy days, though, is even more astonishing and beautiful and hope-filled. You know what sunflowers do on dark, cloudy days, overcast days where we can't see the sun, where we can't feel the sun? When I don't know about you, but sometimes on those really dark, cloudy days, it's hard for me to even remember that the sun still shines. You know what sunflowers do? They do the exact same thing that they do on the bright, sun-shining days. They turn to the east. And even though it's dark, even though the clouds are covering the sky, they know where their energy comes from. They know where their hope is. And they follow it. They follow the sun across the course of the sky, even through the dark overcast, even through the clouds. And they turn and they face west at its setting. And then in the night, they gradually reset to face the new day again. And I just think that it's a powerful image of hope. Because sometimes, when it's easy for us to look to God as our source of our energy, of our hope, of love and compassion, when we feel God's work in our life, when we feel the sun on our face, when we feel God working all around us, it's easy for us to turn and face God. But sometimes when we don't feel it, when we don't see it, it's hard for us to remember that God is still working. That our God is a waymaker. But this promise that we see in the illustration of the sunflowers reminds me of the promise that we have in Scripture, that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Regardless of the weather forecast, regardless of the circumstances in our lives, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And you know what that means? For me, that means that I don't need to have a fair weather faith. It means not only that I know where to look for my encouragement every day, but I know that I can give encouragement every day. That I'm not going to run out of compassion. I'm not going to run out of care. I'm not going to run out of love, because I can return to the source every day. And regardless of the circumstances, regardless of whether I can see him or whether I can feel him, that he will still pour out to me what I need to live that day. And that I can share that not out of a scarcity, but out of an abundance. That God will flow into my life because Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And my prayer is for you today, whatever's going on in your life, that you will have that same hope shining in you, on you, and through you, quietly to those around you, encouraging, lifting up those around you, because you know the source of your hope today. And in that, I pray that you have a hope-filled day.